Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Ankur Education. Today I want to take few minutes to explain what is the reason behind creating this channel. So why I created this channel you must know. I created this channel to help the people or the students who are in need of the coaching. Means some of them are preparing for the competitive exam but they don't have the material or the proper guidance to achieve this or to achieve their goals. So as a struggler I do have faced these problems, so I want to help some of them. At least my videos are helpful to some of you guys. That makes me very happy at the end of the day. So that was the main intention behind creating this channel. So thank you that you have given me the opportunity to share my opinion with you guys. Start our today's session. In our today's session, I'm going to discuss about the problems that have been asked in the previous GATE exam and IES exam, as well as in other competitive exams also. So this session is very useful for the GATE students as well as the regular students also, because they can be asked in the direct exams as a 4 mark question or 2 marks question. So better to follow this very carefully, and if you want you can note it down. Start the session now. So the first problem is, in n-type semiconductor, the donor concentration is 1 atom per 2 into 10 to the power of 8 silicon atoms. Assume that the effective mass of the electron is equal to the true mass. At what temperature will Fermi level coincides with the edge of the conduction band? That was a question asked. So in solving any kind of problem or in attempting any objective type questions, first we have to check for the given information. So what is the given information here? So here they are given the donor concentration, that is ND, donor concentration. So we can write it down as 1 atom per 2 into 10 to the power of 8 silicon atoms. Assume that the effective mass of the electron equals to the true mass. So they have given it as Mn is equal to M. So for an n-type silicon, 1 atom per 2 into 10 to the power of 8 silicon atoms are doped. So we have the formula for concentration, donor concentration Nd, as atomic concentration into number of impurity atoms per silicon atom. So this is the formula we have. So what is the atomic concentration of silicon? Atomic concentration, so 5 into 10 to the power of 22. This we already discussed in our previous lectures, and the given value is 1 by 2 into 10 to the power of 8. If we simplify this, we get the value of Nd as 2.5 into 10 to the power of 14. Why I am explaining the written part of my lecture is, it was taking lot of time to create a video, and it is lot of time consuming, and the video is becoming more lengthy, so I tried this way. So if you have any doubts and queries, you can ask me in my comment box. Thank you. And the formula we have for the difference of conduction band energy and Fermi level energy is Ec minus Ef is equal to kT ln of Nc by Nd. This is the suitable formula we have to apply here. And if Nc is equal to Nd, that means here it has been specified that the Fermi level coincides with the edge of the conduction band. So we can take Ef is equal to Ec, because the Fermi level coinciding with C. For Nc, as Nc is equal to 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15 into Mn by M whole to the power of 3 by 2 into T whole to the power of 3 by 2 per centimeter cube. This is the an effective density of states in conduction band, that we already know. So NC formula is this. So if we substitute the value of Mn and M, we have, it is given that Mn is equal to M. So if we substitute M here, it will get cancelled out and we get the value as 1. So in this expression we are substituting Mn is equal to M. So we are getting 1 whole to the power of 3 by 2 into T whole to the power of 3 by 2 per centimeter cube. Therefore, we have Nc is equal to Nd. That means we have to equate Nc is equal to Nd. Then we get the expressions as 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15 into T whole to the power of 3 by 2. That means we are equating this and this. So we are equating 1 and 2. So we get 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15 into t whole to the power of 3 by 2 is equal to 2.5 into 10 to the power of 14. So from this we can take the expression for t as t whole to the power of 3 by 2 is equal to 2.5 into 10 to the power of 14 by 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15. If we take out this 3 by 2 to other side, it will become 2 by 3. So on simplifying this expression, we get the value of T as 0.14 degree Kelvin. So this is the final value of the temperature at which the Fermi level coincides with the edge of the conduction band. So we have determined what has been asked in the problem. So I think this is understood for you. If you have any doubts, you can comment in my comment box. Now let us go to the second problem. So if the effective mass of the electron is thrice the effective mass of the hole. So what they have given is the effective mass of the electron, that is Mn must be is equal to thrice the effective mass of hole. So Mp. So 3 into Mp. This is the given matter. So find the distance of the Fermi level in an intrinsic semiconductor from the center of the forbidden gap at room temperature. So what we have to find is the distance. That means for a intrinsic semiconductor, the distance can be written as kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv. This decides the position of the Fermi level that we have already know. So kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv value decides the position of the Fermi level, whether it is close to the conduction band or close to the valence band, that can be decided by this value. So we have to find here kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv. So at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, E is equal to Ec plus Ev by 2 minus kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv. So from this we can write the expression for kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv is equal to 0.0. So we are taking only this because this decides the position of the Fermi level. So we are calculating only the expression for this. kT by 2 means kT, the value of kT can be written as 0.02586. That is a temperature, volt equivalent of temperature. So we have this value as 26 millivolts approximately. So we are taking it as 0.02586 by 2 ln of Mn by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2. So why we have written this Mn by Mp means here Nc means 4.8 into 10 to the power of 21 Mn by M whole to the power of 3 by 2 T to the power of 3 by 2. Similarly Nv means here we are getting Mp instead of Mn. So if we divide this, we get Nc by Nv is equal to Mn by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2. So here in place of Nc by Nv, we are taking Mn by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2. This way we are modifying this expression into Mn by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2. You can simply remember this formula otherwise. kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv is equal to kT by 2 ln of Mn by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2. We are substituting the value of kT here. So here we have Mn is equal to 3 Mp. So substitute that 3 Mp by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2. If we cancel Mp, then we get 3 whole to the power of 3 by 2. On simplifying this expression, that is 0.1246 into ln 3 whole to the power of 3 by 2, we get the value of kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv as 0.0213 electron volts. This is the distance of the Fermi level from the center of the forbidden gap at room temperature. So this is a detailed description about this problem, but whenever it was asked for 1 mark or 2 marks, you can write the simple expression, that is kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv, that is equal to ln of Mn by Mp. That means what has been given, that we have to find out first. This here we have only the condition that the effective mass of electron must be equal to the effective mass of the hole. So if we are we can directly substitute here 3 Mp by Mp whole to the power of 3 by 2, and we can get the value of kT by 2 ln of Nc by Nv. But if you want to understand in detail, then you can go for this description. So the distance is 0.0213 electron volts. In this way we have find out the distance. So let's go for the third problem. The sample with unit cross-sectional area shown below, the following information is given. At T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin and electric charge, that is the value of Q. Electric charge is nothing but Q. 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Thermal voltage is equal to 26 millivolts, that is KT. thermal voltage means volt equivalent of temperature is 26 millivolts. So mu, that means the mobility is equal to 1360 centimeter square per volt second. Then we have to find what is the magnitude of epsilon. Epsilon means what? Electric field at x is equal to 0.5 micrometers is given. So in this diagram they have mentioned the nd value, x, that are the distances value, that means that x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 micrometer, and you have a voltage source that is of 1 volt. So we have the formula for electric field as epsilon is equal to V by L. So voltage by length, or we can write epsilon is equal to voltage, here it is what, 1 volt, and L means length. Length means 0 to 1. So it has only 1 micrometer length. So 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So if we substitute that, we can get the value of epsilon as 10 to the power of 6 volts per meter. If we want in this option, so they have mentioned the options in kilovolts per centimeter, so we are converting that into kilovolts per centimeter. To convert that into kilovolts, we have to multiply this by, or you can split into 10 to the power of 3 forms. So you can write it here as 10 cube, that is 1000 into 10 cube volts per 100 centimeter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So on simplifying this, we get the value as 10 kilovolts per centimeter. This is a modified form of, if they have given in the option as 10 volts per meter, then the answer is 10 to the power of 6. If they are asking for kilovolts, then it is 10 kilovolts per centimeter. So that's it. So we have find out the epsilon at x is equal to 0.5 micrometers. So now what they have asked, the magnitude of the electron drift current density at x is equal to 0.5 micrometer. So we have the formula for current as I is equal to Jn into A. So the current density into area. So what is the Jn? N mu n plus P mu P into Q epsilon A. So here we are approximating it to n mu n q epsilon A. Here we have value of nd, so this can be approximated to nd mu n q epsilon A. So if we substitute the value of nd here, what they have given here, 10 to the power of 16. So substitute the value of nd, that is 10 to the power of 16 into mu n is 1360 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into 10 into 10 to the power of 3, because the area what we have is, that is equal to 2.16 into 10 to the power of 4 ampere per centimeter square. This is the current, electron drift current density at x is equal to 0.5 micrometers. So next go to the fourth problem, that is for a silicon atom, assume that the intrinsic carrier concentration of silicon to be 1.5 into 10 to the power of 10 per centimeter cube. So what they have given here, Ni. So while solving any kind of problem, we should note down the parameters first. That means in our problematic way, what they have represented, that we have to find out first. So here this has been given as a intrinsic carrier concentration. So in the mathematical way, it can be represented as Ni. So underline this and note it as Ni. And the value of kT by Q to be 25 millivolts at 300 degree Kelvin. So compared to undoped silicon, the Fermi level of doped silicon is what? That was the question asked. So we have the Fermi level of intrinsic carrier concentration like this. That means the conduction band, valence band, and this is the intrinsic Fermi level, and this is the Fermi level, original Fermi level. So it is very close to the conduction band. So this is what we can say. EFI minus EF is equal to KT ln of Na by Na, that is of p type actually. So acceptor concentration divided by intrinsic carrier concentration. So KT is given as 25 millivolts to 25 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into ln of Na. Acceptor concentration for silicon, Na value is a predetermined value. So we are substituting the value of Na as 4 into 10 to the power of 17 divided by Ni is given as 1.5 into 10 to the power of 10. So if we substitute this and solve this, we will get the value of what is that, EFI minus EF is equal to 0.427 electron volts, because it goes down and it goes down. This is also very important, because it is nearer to the conduction band, it goes down. So in the option they have given at goes down by 0.427 electron volts, and they have given 3 more options, but we got it right now as goes down by 0.427 electron volts. So that is the answer for the previous question. So now let us go to the fifth question. A heavily doped n-type semiconductor has the following data. Hole electron mobility ratio is equal to 0.4. So what they have given, mu p by mu n. Hole electron mobility ratio, that is mu p by mu n, is specified here. So the doping concentration is equal to 4.2 into 10 to the power of 8 atoms per meter cube. So doping concentration means Nd. Intrinsic concentration, so Ni is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power of 4 atoms per meter cube. So what they have asked to find the ratio of the conductance of n-type semiconductor to that of the intrinsic semiconductor of same material and at the same temperature. So what we have to find here, sigma n by sigma I, that means the conductivity of n-type semiconductor to the intrinsic semiconductor. So we have the formula for sigma n by sigma I as Nd by Ni into 1 plus mu p by mu n. If you want the detailed description, I'll explain this, and otherwise you can directly remember this formula and you can apply to this situation. So sigma n by sigma I is equal to, what we have, the conductivity of n-type semiconductor is n into mu n into q, by sigma I, so intrinsic semiconductor, so we'll have 2, that is the electrons and holes. So the formula can be modified as Ni into mu n plus mu p into q. So if we take out the mu n common here, we'll get n by Ni into 1 plus mu p by mu n. So we are taking out the mu n common, and q also gets cancelled out. So we get the formula for sigma n by sigma I as n by Ni into 1 plus mu p by mu n. But here the value of n is approximately equal to Nd, because it is a heavily doped n-type semiconductor, so it can be approximated to Nd. So substitute the value of Nd what they have given, that is 4.2 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by Ni value is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 4 into 1 plus mu p by mu n is given as 0.4. So substitute that 1 plus 0.4. Then if we simplify this, we get approximately 20,000. So that is the ratio of conductance of n-type semiconductor to that of intrinsic semiconductor of same material. That is sigma n by sigma I is equal to 20,000. I hope you are following me, and these are the previously asked questions, so better to note it down, and these are very important, and I tried to cover the all kinds of problems that have been asked from the chapter number 2, that is the semiconductor. So if you note it, that means if you have all if you are able to answer or if you can remember all these problems, you can do any kind of problem from semiconductors topic, I can say, damn sure. So now let us go to the sixth problem. A silicon sample A is doped with 10 to the power of 18 atoms per centimeter cube of boron. Another sample B of identical dimensions is doped with 10 to the power of 18 atoms per centimeter cube of phosphorus. The ratio of electron to hole mobility is 3. So what is given here? The ratio of electron to hole mobility, that is mu n by mu p is equal to 3. Then the ratio of conductivity of the same sample A to sample B. So they are asking for sigma A by sigma B. So we can write it as sigma P by sigma N, because A is doped with 10 to the power of 18 atoms of boron. So it is a p-type semiconductor, and B is doped with phosphorus, so it is an n-type semiconductor. So sigma P by sigma N is equal to P into mu P into Q. So the expression for sigma we have as N mu Q. So for p-type semiconductor it is P into mu P into Q, and for n-type semiconductor it is N into mu N into Q. So on cancelling we get P into mu P by N into mu N. The value of P is here 10 to the power of 18, and similarly the value of N is also 10 to the power of 18. So substitute that here, we get 10 to the power of 18 into mu p by 10 to the power of 18 into mu n. So if they are They are of same value, so they can be cancelled out, and we get the value as mu p by mu n. Sigma p by sigma n is equal to mu p by mu n. That is equal to the value of sigma mu n by mu p is given as 3. So we can write the value of mu p by mu n as 1 by 3. So the ratio of conductivity of sample A to sample B is 1 by 3. This is the answer for this question. So simply we can say that it is the inverse of the electron hole ratio mobility, hole mobility ratio, that is 3, 1 by 3. Conductivity is the inverse, but this is not same for all, because here the values of doped, that means the concentration is same, acceptor concentration and the donor concentration is same, then it is the inverse. If they have these different values, then the answer will be different. Okay, so next go to the seventh problem. The resistivity of a uniformly doped n-typed silicon sample is 0.5 ohm centimeter if the electron mobility is 1250 centimeter square per whole second and the charge of an electron is 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So what they have given here, mu and q. So then the donor concentration is in the sample is dash. So in any problem, if you have means if you label it like this will be very easy for you. What they have asked, donor concentration. So donor concentration can be represented as ND. So what we have to find, ND. So if we label it like this, the problem will become more simpler. So mu n is given as this, and rho n. Also they have given the resistivity rho n, n-type semiconductor rho n. Rho n is equal to 0.5 ohm centimeter, and q is equal to this. So rho n is equal to 1 by sigma n. So 1 by sigma n is equal to 1 by nd mu n q. So we have to find nd. So take this to that side. So nd is equal to 1 by sigma rho n into mu n q. So rho n value is 0.5 into mu n is 1250 into q is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So simplifying this equation, we get 1 into 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube. This is the donor concentration in the sample. Now let us go to the eighth problem. That is silicon at 300 degree Kelvin. This is the room temperature. So T is given as 300 Kelvin. Varies linearly from 10 to the power of 17 per centimeter cube at x is equal to 0 to 6 into 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube at x is equal to 2 micrometers. So what they have given here, this is the concentration N1, say this is the concentration N2, and they have given x1 and x2 also. So at different distances they have different concentration. If the electric charge is 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs, so that is the q, and the diffusion constant dn is equal to 35 centimeters per square per second. Find the current density in silicon if no electric field is present. That means epsilon means electric field. If no electric field is present, so they have given two concentration, that is n1 n2. N1 means x1 xy at x1 is equal to 0, it is 10 to the power of 17 per centimeter cube. X2 2 micrometers, we have 6 into 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube. So what they have asked to find, current density. Current density means what, Jn. We have the formula for Jn as Jn is equal to q into dn by dx. The value of q can be written as 1.6 10 to the power of minus 19, and dn is given as 35 into dn can be written as n1 minus n2 by x2 minus x1. n1 minus n2 by x2 minus x1. That is the differentiation with respect to x, differentiation of n with respect to x. So 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19 as it is, 35 into n1 value is 10 to the power of 17 minus 6 into 10 to the power of 16 divided by x2. x2 means when means what, 2 micrometers. So 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 minus x1 is 0. So if we simplify this expression, we will get the value of current density Jn as 1120, and the units for current density are in amperes per centimeter square. In any kind of problem, the units are also very important. In objective question, sometimes the answer will be same but the units are different. So if you must be very careful in writing the units. So in regular exam also, if you write the units incorrect, then they'll cut your marks. So better to remember the units in a proper way, and it should be perfect. So let us go to the ninth problem, that is the intrinsic carrier density at 300 degree Kelvin is given as 1.5 into 10 to the power of 10 per centimeter cube. So what they have given, Ni. In silicon, for n-type silicon, doped to 2.25 into 10 to the power of 15 atoms per centimeter cube. So for it is an n-type semiconductor, we can take it as Nd. Nd is given as this. The equilibrium electron and hole densities are. So what they have asked, equilibrium electron and hole densities. That means N and P we should find. So Ni is equal to 1.5 10 to the power of 10 and Nd is equal to 2.25 10 to the power of 15. So N is equal to 2.25 into 10 to the power of 15, because Nd is approximately equal to N. Because this is an n-type semiconductor, then it is an intrinsic carrier density at 300 degree Kelvin. The value of N must be is equal to Nd. Nd must be equal to the N. So N is equal to 2.25 into 10 to the power of 15 atoms per centimeter cube. So this is the electron density in n-type semiconductor. And we have the formula from mass action law, N into P is equal to Ni square. So we can write the expression for P as Ni square by N. So Ni value is 1.5 10 to the power of 10 whole square by N is 2.25 10 to the power of 15. So if we simplify this expression, we will get the value of P as 1 into 10 to the power of 15 per centimeter cube. These are the values of electron density and hole density. So that's it. If you understand the problem and whatever the parameters that I've given, if you identify the parameters, then it will be very easy to solve the problems and objective questions. So let us go to the 10th problem, that is the semiconductor is n-type with Nd is equal to 10 to the power of 19 per centimeter cube. If the excess, so this is given as Nd is equal to 10 to the power of 19 per centimeter cube. If the excess electron concentration in the steady state, that is delta N, is given as 10 to the power of 15 per centimeter cube and tau P is given as 10 microseconds, then the generation rate due to irradiation is given by, we have the formula. This is very important model. So generation rate is equal to delta N by tau P. So if we substitute the values, we get 10 to the power of 15 by 10 microseconds. So 10 into 10 to the power of minus 6, 10 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So we'll get the value as 10 to the power of 20, and the units for generation rates are electron hole pairs per centimeter cube per second. So these units are also very important. This was asked in previous IS exam. So let us go to the problem number 11, that is assume electron mobility in a intrinsic silicon is 1500 centimeter square per volt second. So here they have given mu n at room temperature. So the temperature T is 300 degree Kelvin and the corresponding volt equivalent of temperature Vt is given as 25.9 millivolts. What is the approximate value of electron diffusion constant, that is Dn is equal to how much? So we have the formula as Dn by mu n is equal to Vt, which is a constant. This is from Einstein relation. We have Dn by mu n is equal to Vt, that is equal to constant. So from this we can write the expression for Dn as Dn is equal to mu n into Vt. Mu n is given as 1500. So substitute that value into Vt is 25.9 millivolts. So 25.9 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So that is equal to 38.85. This is the value of Dn. So Dn is equal to 38.85 centimeter square per second. So next go to the next problem, that is given that at room temperature the volt equivalent of temperature Vt is 26 millivolts. Hole mobility mu p is equal to 500 centimeter square per volt second and the lifetime of holes, that is tau p, lifetime of holes, that is tau is equal to 130 nanoseconds. What is the diffusion length of holes? So this is not holes, actually this must be holes. So Lp is equal to what we have, under root of dp into tau. So the expression for dp is mu p into Vt into tau. Mu p is given as 500 into Vt is given as 26 into what is that tau? Tau is nothing but 130 nanoseconds. So 130 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6, because it is 26 millivolts, it must be written as 10 to the power of minus 3. So nanoseconds, so it is written as 10 to the power of minus 9. So if we simplify this expression, we'll get as 1.3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 centimeters. If in the options, if they are in options are in centimeter, then it is okay. Otherwise we have to convert it into meters. So if it is converted into meters, then it will be 1300 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. So that is the value of the diffusion length of holes. So next, the Hall constant in p-type semiconductor silicon body is 5 into 10 to the power of 3 centimeter cube per coulombs. The Hall concentration in the ball is given by. So the Hall constant, that is the RH value they have given. RH value they have given. So and they are asking us to find the Hall concentration, that is the value of P. So we have the expression for RH as RH is equal to 1 by rho. 1 by rho means it is the resistivity, so 1 by P into Q. So if we rearrange this equation, we get the expression for P as P is equal to 1 by RH into Q. So substitute the value of RH, that is 1 by 5 into 10 to the power of 3 into Q is nothing but charge of electron, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. If we simplify this expression, we'll get the value of P as 1.25 10 to the power of 15 per centimeter cube. This is very, very simple. So 1 is doped with 10 to the power of 18 per centimeter cube. That is the number of donors, and the other is doped with 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube, that is the number of acceptors. So this is Nd and this is Na. The minority carrier density in the first specimen, that is rho, minority carrier density, so that we can write it as rho 1. What is the minority carrier density in another? So what we have to write, N1 rho 1 N2 rho 2, N1 rho 1 N2 rho 2. This is the first specimen, this is the second specimen. So this is the second specimen, that is N2 rho 2. So Nd is equal to N1 is equal to 10 to the power of 18 per centimeter cube, and rho 1, that is the density rho 1 is equal to 10 to the power of 17 per centimeter cube. So here the acceptor, that is second specimen, is of P type. So this is an acceptor type. So Na is equal to, that is the acceptor concentration, Na is equal to N2 is equal to 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube. And we have to find rho 2 here, not N2. Rho 2 is how much? So we have, from mass action law, N1 rho 1 is equal to Ni square and N2 P2 is equal to Ni square. So N1 P1 is equal to N2 P2, because they are of they are equal to same Ni square. We can equate N1 P1 is equal to N2 P2. So N2 is equal to N1 P1 by P2. So N1 is given as 10 to the power of 18, P1 is given as 10 to the power of 17 by 10 to the power of 16. So therefore the value of N2 is written as 10 to the power of 19 per centimeter cube. This formula is applicable only if both specimens are of same type and same size. So you can directly remember this formula, that is N2 is equal to N1 P1 by P2 or N1 P1 is equal to N2 P2. If the specimens are of same type and same size, you can use this formula directly. So let us go to another problem, that is the donor and acceptor concentration are 10 to the power of 16 atoms per centimeter cube and 2 into 10 to the power of 16 boron atoms per centimeter cube. So donor means Nd and acceptor means Na, because this is of boron, you can take it as Na. Phosphorus means it is a donor type, so you can take it as Nd. So Nd is equal to 10 to the power of 16 and Na is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 16 atoms per centimeter cube. Here if we compare these two, the Na is greater than Nd. So the semiconductor is of P type, that we can say. Na is greater than Nd, so the semiconductor is of P type with Hall concentration is equal to the difference of Na minus Nd. So you can write the Hall concentration P as Na minus Nd. So Na is, substitute the values of Na and Nd here, that is 2 into 10 to the power of 16 minus 10 to the power of 16 is equal to 1 into 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube. So if all the dopants are fully ionized, the material is of p type. This is the answer for this question. So you can write the expression for p as Na minus Nd. So if in the problem, if they have specified the concentrations of donor and acceptor, and they asked us to find the types of material, then you have to compare the Na and Nd. If something like if Na is greater than Nd, then it is of p type. If Nd is greater than Na, then it is of N type. It is that simple to find the type of material. Next, a small concentration of minority carriers are injected into semiconductor crystal at one point, and epsilon, that is electric field of 10 volt per centimeter, is applied across the crystal, and this moves the minority carriers a distance of 1 centimeter. So here they have specified the distance, that is L, in 20 microseconds, that is a time. So the mobility of minority carriers is dash. So epsilon is given as 10 volts per centimeter, and v, that means the velocity is equal to length by time. So length is nothing but 1 centimeter, by time is 20 microseconds. So if we substitute these values and solve this, we get the value of velocity as 5 into 10 to the power of 4 centimeters per second. This is the expression for velocity, and they asked us to find the mobility. So we have the expression for v as v is equal to mu epsilon. So from this we can write the expression for mu as v by epsilon. So substitute the value of v as 5 into 10 to the power of 4 by epsilon is given as 10. So by simplifying this, we get the value of v mu as 5000 centimeters per whole second. So these are the basic formulas that we have discussed in our previous lectures. So we should have very much clarity in using the formulas, means where we should use what kind of formula, that we should have the clarity. So the minority carrier lifetime and diffusion constants in a semiconductor material are 100 microseconds. So minority carrier lifetime, so tau, and diffusion constant, so d. The diffusion length of carriers is given is what? So what they are asking for L. So we have the formula for L as L is equal to under root of d into tau. So substitute the value of d and t here, that is 100 into micro means 10 to the power of minus 6. So we get the diffusion length of carriers as 0.1 centimeters. So this is very simple problem, and this could be asked for 1 mark questions. So the electron mobility and lifetime in a semiconductor at room temperature as 0.36 meters per whole second. What is this? The electron mobility, so mu n, and lifetime means tau n. Then the diffusion length is what? So mu n is given as 0.36 and tau n is given as 340. Then they are asking for ln. L is equal to under root of d into tau. So d means what? D by mu is equal to, we have volt equivalent, that is volt equivalent of temperature, dn by mu n, Einstein relation. So we have d is mu n is 0.36 into vt is nothing but 0.025 into 2586, that is the 26 millivolts we are substituting here, into 340 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So on simplifying this, we get the value of ln as 1.1966 centimeters. So here using two formulas, that is dn is equal to, again mu n into vt we are substituting in place of dn. So that's it. So we should be very clear to understand the parameters, what they have given and what they are asking us to find. So next, in silicon at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, if the Fermi energy, that is 0.22 electron volts. Fermi energy means EF minus EV above the valency band energy. So EF minus EV. Then the whole concentration. So they are asking to find the P. So EF minus EV is given as 0.22 electron volts, and we have the expression for P as P is equal to NV into e to the power of minus of EF minus EV by KT. So that implies NV is equal to 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15 into MP by M whole to the power of 3 by 2 into T whole to the power of 3 by 2 per centimeter cube. This is the expression for what is that density of carriers in valence band. This is that means predefined expression. Here the mp by m value is taken as 0.56 and t is taken as 300. So if we simplify this expression, we get the value of nv as 1.05 into 10 to the power of 19. So you have to substitute this value in the p expression, that is p is equal to nv into e to the power of minus ef minus ev by kt. So if we substitute that, we get p is equal to this value into e to the power of ef minus ev is 0.22 divided by kt is nothing but 25 millivolts, because it is at room temperature, its value is 25 millivolts, that is equal to 2.1 into 10 to the power of 15 per centimeter cube. This is the whole concentration. This is something tricky, but you have to remember it. Now let's continue with this next problem. Two semiconductor materials have exactly same properties except that material A has a band gap of 1 electron volt and B has a band gap of 1.2 electron volts. So you can take it as EGA band gap and EGB. The ratio of intrinsic concentration of material A to material B. So they are asking for NiA by NiB, that we have to find. So two specimens, that means two materials are exactly of same properties. So material A has the band gap of 1 electron volt, B has a band gap of 1.2 electron volts. So we have the formula for intrinsic carrier concentration as Ni square is equal to 2.33 into 10 to the power of 31 into Mn Mp by M square whole to the power of 3 by 2 into T cube into e power minus Eg by Kt. For A and B, this would be same. So Ni square by A by Ni square by B is equal to e to the power of minus of Ega by Kt by e to the power of minus Ega by Kt. This is the formula we have to use here. So if we modify this formula, we get that is equal to e to the power of minus of Ega minus Egb by Kt. We are taking it to the numerator side, then it would be minus. So substitute the values of Ega and Egb, that is 1 and 1.2. Then we get the value of Ni square A by Ni square B as, this is what, Ni square A by Ni square B is equal to 2284.613. So by taking the under root of this, we get the value as 47.79. This is the ratio of intrinsic concentration of material A to material B. That's it. So here we have to remember this formula, that is the simple formula, that is e to the power of minus Ega by Kt by e to the power of minus Egb by Kt. Next, let us go to the other problem. Then in germanium semiconductor at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, the acceptor concentration Na is equal to 10 to the power of 13 per centimeter cube and the donor concentration Nd is equal to 0. The thermal equilibrium concentration of holes is what? So holes means P. Concentration of holes means P. Here they have given Nd is equal to 0. And we know the expression for P as Na minus Nd by 2 plus under root of Na minus Nd by 2 whole square plus Ni square. This is the expression for the concentration of holes at thermal equilibrium condition. So substitute the values of Na and Nd. 10 to the power of 3 minus 0 by 2 plus under root of 10 to the power of 13 minus, this is what, 13 not 3, 13 minus 0 by 2 whole square plus intrinsic carrier concentration is nothing but 2.5 10 to the power of 13. For germanium, its value is 2.5 10 to the power of 13. This we already discussed in our previous lectures, 2.5 10 to the power of 13 whole square. So on simplifying this expression, we get the value as 3.04 into 10 to the power of 13. This is the concentration of holes at thermal equilibrium condition. Next, the next problem is in germanium semiconductor at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, the donor concentration Nd is 5.5 into 10 to the power of 15 and the acceptor concentration Na is 0. The thermal equilibrium concentration of electron is what? So here they are asking us to find the N. This is similar to the previous problem, but only the difference is Nd minus Na by 2 plus under root of Nd minus Na by 2 whole square plus Ni square. Here Nd value is given as 5 into 10 to the power of 15 and Na is given as 0 by 2 plus under root of 5 in 10 to the power of 15 minus 0 by 2 whole square plus Ni for germanium is 2.5 in 10 to the power of 13 whole square. So on simplifying this, we get the value of N as 2.5 into 10 to the power of 28 per centimeter cube. If you want, you can ask me in comment box. I will explain the simplification also. But because of length constraint, I am skipping this. So the value of N can be 2.5 10 to the power of 28 per centimeter cube. This is a concentration of electrons at thermal equilibrium condition. So next problem, 3 scattering mechanisms exist in semiconductor. If only the first mechanism were present, the mobility would be 500. So this is the first one. If only the second mechanism were present, the mobility would be 750. So let us take this as mu2. And if only the third mechanism were present, the mobility would be 1500. So let us take this as mu3. Then the net mobility. So the final mobility is how much? So we have the formula as 1 by mu is equal to 1 by mu n plus mu1 plus 1 by mu2 plus 1 by mu3. So substitute the values. Then we get 1 by 500 plus 1 by 750 plus 1 by 1500. So if we take this to numerator, then it would be 2 in 10 to the power of minus 3 plus 1.3 in 10 to the power of minus 3 plus 6.25 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So simplify this, we get the expression for, we get the value for mobility as mu is equal to 250 centimeter square per whole second. This is the value for mu. This is a very important formula. This was asked several times in objective type questions. Now let us go to another problem, that is 6 volts is applied across a 2 centimeter long. So here they have given L and L semiconductor bar, and average drift velocity, that is V is given as 10 to the power of 4 centimeters per second, and the electron mobility is what? So they are asking to find the mu. We know the formula as applied electric field epsilon is equal to V by L. Here we have V as 6 and L as 2. So we get 3 volts per centimeter. And we have the formula V is equal to, small v is equal to mu epsilon, right? So from this we can write mu is equal to V by epsilon. The velocity is given as 10 to the power of 4. So 10 to the power of 4 by 3 volts per centimeter. So if we simplify this expression, we get the value of mu as 3.33 into centimeters, 3.33 centimeters square per volt second. This is the term they have asked to find. So the electron mobility could be 3.33 into 3.33 centimeters square per volt second. So the next one, an epsilon, that is the electric field of 5 kilovolts per centimeter is given, and the carrier concentration is uniform at 10 to the power of 16 per centimeter cube. So this is epsilon and carrier concentration. So this is N. The saturated velocity V. Saturated velocity is V. This could be in centimeters per second. Find the drift current density, that is we have to find Jn. So we know the formula for Jn as N into mu n into Q epsilon. So mu n epsilon can be written as V. So Jn is equal to NQV. That we have to use here. Jn is equal to NQV. N is given as 10 to the power of 16. Q is the value of electron charge, that is 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19 into V is 10 to the power of 7. So substitute this, we get 1.6 into 10 to the power of 4 amperes per centimeter square. This is the value for current density. Next, for a sample of GaAs, scattering time tau Sc is equal to 10 to the power of minus 13 seconds, and electron effective mass Mn is equal to 0.067 m. If an electric field, that is epsilon of 1 kilovolts per centimeter is applied, the drift velocity produced is what? So we have to find V. So we know the formula that mu is equal to V by epsilon. So the velocity could be E into tau Sc by Mn, that is Q or E. This is a charge of the electron into scattering time by what is that effective mass of electrons. So Vn by epsilon is equal to E into tau S by Mn. From this we can write the expression for Vn as Vn is equal to E into tau S into, we are taking this to this side, so epsilon by Mn. So substitute the values of all the given terms, that is 1.6 10 to the power of minus 19 because it is the charge of electron. Tau Sc is given as 10 to the power of minus 13 into epsilon is 1 kilovolts per centimeter by, because it is kilovolt we are multiplying it by 1000 by mn. Mn is nothing but 0.067 into m is what, the effective m is the mass of the electron, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 28 kgs. So we get the expression for Vn as Vn is equal to 0.26 centimeters per second. All the terms are in centimeters, that is the value of Vn is 0.26 centimeters per second. Next, in an n-type semiconductor at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, the electron concentration varies linearly from this to this. So this is the x1, concentration, this one is concentration n1 and this is the concentration n2 over a distance of, so these are the distances, so x1, and diffusion current density is 360. So diffusion current density is nothing but Jn. So find what we have to find. We have to find the value of mu n. So the concentration N1 and N2 are given as 2 into 10 to the power of 18 and 5 into 10 to the power of 17. And x1 we should over a distance. So x1 is 0 and x2 is 1.5 mm. So we have to use this formula. Jn diffusion is equal to 360 ampere per centimeter square. So we have the formula as J is equal to Q dn into dn by dx. This is the diffusion current density. Here we have to find the value of mobility. So dn by dx is equal to n1 minus n2 by x2 minus x1. So Jn substituting, we are substituting here Jn, that is 360 is equal to Q. Q means 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into dn, that is a diffusion constant, into n1 is nothing but 2 into 10 to the power of 18 minus n2 5 into 10 to the power of 17 divided by 1.5 micrometers can be, millimeters can be written as 0.15. So the diffusion constant could be find out as dn is equal to 22.5 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So from Einstein's relation we have dn by mu n is equal to Vt. So from this we can write the expression for mu n is equal to dn by Vt. So we know the value of dn and Vt is the volt equivalent of temperature. So from these two we can get the value of mu n as 8700 centimeter square per whole second. This is the way how we find the mobility of the electron if they have given the diffusion constant and the distances as well as the concentration of the samples. Okay, next an n-type. This is one of the model, and let us go to another kind of model, that is an n-type germanium sample is 2 millimeter wide, that is the width, and 0.2 mm thick, so T, and a current of 10 milliamps, that is I, is passed through a sample X at a sample in X direction, so X direction this is, and a magnetic field, that is B, of 0.1 Weber per meter square is directed perpendicular to the current flow, that is in Z direction. The developed Hall voltage is 1 millivolt. So what they have given here, the voltage, that is the Hall voltage VH. So they asked us to find the Hall coefficient and electron concentration. Hall coefficient is what? RH, and electron concentration is N. In this way we understood the problem, that means what are the parameters given and what we have to find. So first we have to find the Hall coefficient, so RH is equal to 1 by rho, and we also have the formula for Hall coefficient as VH into W by B into I. They have given the value of VH as 1, width is nothing but 2 micrometers, that is 2 millimeters, that is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 divided by B is a magnetic field, that is 0.1 Weber per meter square, into I is the current, that is 10 milliamps, 10 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So if we substitute that, we get the coefficient of Hall as 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube per coulombs. This is the value for RH, and they asked us to find the concentration of electrons, so N. So we know the formula for RH as RH is equal to 1 by rho is equal to 1 by NQ. we have to find the value of n. So you can modify this formula as n is equal to 1 by RH into q. That is equal to 1 by RH is 2 in 10 to the power of minus 3 into q is nothing but charge of electron, 1.6 in 10 to the power of minus 19. So by simplifying this equation, we get the value as 3.1 into 10 to the power of 15 per centimeter cube. This is how we find the Hall coefficient in electron concentration. Now let us go to another problem, that is in an intrinsic gallium arsenide, electron and hole mobilities are 0.85 and 0.04, electron that is mu n and hole mu p, and corresponding effective masses. So this is what mn and this is what mp, that is 0.068 m0 and 0.5 m0, where m0 is the rest mass of an electron. If the energy gap of gallium arsenide at 300 degree Kelvin is 1.43 electron volts, that is the energy gap means Eg is given by 1.43 electron volts. Calculate the intrinsic carrier concentration and conductivity. So we have to calculate the value of Ni and conductivity, that is sigma. So we have find out the all the parameters. Then what formula we have to use here is the Ni square is equal to 2.23 into 10 to the power of 43 mn mp by m square whole to the power of 3 by 2 into t to the power of 3 into e to the power of minus eg by kt. This problem is very important for 4 mark questions in GATE exam as well as in IP exam. So if we substitute the values, corresponding values here, we get the value of Ni square is equal to 3.61 into 10 to the power of 24. So Ni is equal to 1.9 into 10 to the power of 12 per meter cube. So we are taking the under root here. So therefore we are getting the value of Ni is 1.9 into 10 to the power of 12. And the expression for sigma is given by sigma is equal to Ni into mu n plus mu p into q. Since it is an intrinsic semiconductor, we are using this formula. Otherwise we could use n mu q simply, but here it is an intrinsic carrier, in intrinsic semiconductor, we are using this formula. So the expression for Ni, so the value of Ni is given as 1.9 into the power of 12 into mu n is given as 0.85 plus mu p is given as 0.04 into q is the charge of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So we can obtain the value of conductivity as 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Siemens per meter. This is the units for conductivity. Very important problems for GATE as well as regular exams. Okay, next these problems are very lengthy, that means somewhat lengthy compared to the previous problems, and they might be asked for 4 marks questions instead of 1 mark questions. Next, let us go to the other problem, that is pure silicon has an electronic resistivity of 300 ohm meter, that is rho I. If the free carrier density in it is 1.1 10 to the power of 6 per meter cube, that is Ni is free carrier density is nothing but Ni, and the electron mobility is 3 times that of hole mobility, that is they have given us mu n is equal to 3 mu p. Find the values of electrons and holes. What we have to find here? If the free carrier density in it is 1 and the electron mobility is 3 times the values of electrons and holes. Okay, so we have to find mu n and mu p here. So rho I is equal to 300 ohm centimeter, mu n is equal to 3 mu p. So Ni is equal to 1.1 10 to the power of 6. So what we have the formula for rho as rho I is equal to, because it is an intrinsic semiconductor, 1 by Ni into mu n plus mu p into q. Mu n is equal to 3 mu p. So if we substitute that 3 mu p here, the formula could be 1 by 4 mu p into Niq. And we have to substitute the values here. So 1 by 4 mu p into Ni is 1.1 into 10 to the power of 6 and q is as it is. So from this we can write the expression for mu p as mu p is equal to 1 by 4 into 1.1 10 to the power of 6 into rho I is nothing but 300, and we should also have the value of q here. So q is nothing but 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So from this we can get the expression for mobility as 4.7 into 10 to the power of 8 meters square per whole second. and we should also find the value of mu n. So mu n is equal to 3 into mu p. So in this we have to substitute the value for mu p as 4.7 into 10 to the power of 8. So by simplifying this, we get the value of mu n as mu n is equal to 14.1 into 10 to the power of 8 meter square per whole second. So if they've confused you, like giving the sentences like this, electron mobility is 3 times the whole and you have to find mu n and mu p, we should follow this procedure. A semiconductor has the following parameters. Mu n is equal to 7500 centimeter square per whole second. Mu p is equal to 300 centimeter square per whole second. Ni is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power of 12 per centimeter cube. Then when conductivity is maximum, what is the hole concentration? So we have to find the expression for P. So we know that sigma is equal to n mu n plus P mu p into Q. So from mass action law, n into p is equal to ni square. So from there we can write the expression for n as ni square by p. So sigma is equal to, instead of n we are writing ni square by p into mu n plus p mu p into q. So sigma is equal to ni square by p into mu n into q plus p mu p into q. So to get the maximum sigma, we should differentiate it with the p. So d sigma by dp is equal to 0. This is the condition to get the maximum conductivity. So we can write the by doing this differentiation and all those things and equating it to 0, we get the expression for p as p is equal to ni into under root of mu n by mu p. We can directly use this formula, but if they have asked for 2 marks questions or 4 marks question in GATE exam, we should write this explanation also. So better to remember this explanation too. So this is very very simple. No, we are substituting the value of n here, that means ni square by p instead of n, and we are equating that to, differentiating and equating that to 0 to get the value of p, expression for p. So p is equal to ni into under root of mu n by mu p. Or otherwise, if the conductivity is maximum, the expression for hole concentration can be written as p is equal to ni into under root of mu n by mu p. If it is asked for 1 mark question, you can directly use this formula and substitute this value ni here, that is 3.6 into 10 to the power of 12 into under root of mu n is 7500 by 300. So by solving this, we get the whole concentration as p is equal to 1.8 into 10 to the power of 13. Okay, next, when the conductivity is maximum, if the electron, that means what is the conductivity, maximum conductivity they are asking for. So we have the formula for p as p is equal to ni into under root of mu n by mu p. So similarly, we can write n is equal to ni into under root of mu p by mu n. Sigma max is equal to n mu n q plus p mu p q, that is equal to n, instead of n we are writing ni into under root of mu p by mu n into q plus ni into under root of mu n into mu p by q. By simplifying this, we get the expression as 2ni into under root of mu n into mu p into q. So we should substitute the values here. So we get 2 into ni is 3.6 into 10 to the power of 12 into under root of mu n is 7500 into 300, that is equal to 1.08 into 10 to the power of 16 Siemens per meter. This is the maximum conductivity. Maybe you are able to do that problems, because I have done all models, all the basic models or the tricky models, whatever the previous questions that I've asked in the previous competitive exams, all I have covered, I think so. So better to follow this and better to use my channel. And if you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. For any doubts and comments, please do comment in my comment box. I would be very happy if you comment in my comment box and ask for any doubt. Thank you. And thank you for the subscribers for your love and support. Thank you.